Hi, this is Don Tapscott. Sorry about the little delay in getting started. But I'm here to make the official announcement for a very important event called Blockchain Revolution Global. It will be the largest and most important event on blockchain for the enterprise in the world. And the first one is happening in Toronto, April 24th and 25th. And it's happening at the Metro Convention Center, the big center in downtown Toronto. Blockchain Revolution Global is produced by a joint venture of my company and also MCI, the largest organizer of conferences in the world. And what we're going to do is curate the first, I would say, leadership community for blockchain. And this is about the C-suite. It's not about cryptocurrencies. It's about blockchain, the underlying technology that is the second era of the internet of value. And it's not about investing. It's about strategy, it's about implementation, and it's about transformation of enterprises. And it's not a developer event. There will be developers and technologists there, but we'll be discussing the strategic issues and the big issues about implementing this technology. The whole event will be led by myself and also my co-author of Blockchain Revolution and a co-founder of the Blockchain Research Institute, Alex Tapscott, who's also my son. And we have an advisory board that's amazing. It represents a whole bunch of the leaders of the entire blockchain industry. And this event will be very different from any other event in the world or any other event that's ever happened. It will be big and important. It will be attended by senior executives, typically from large companies and governments. Attendees will receive some of the findings of the research of the Blockchain Research Institute. We have 80 projects that are underway here looking at the strategic issues in blockchain. There will be no hired speakers giving canned talks. These will be inspiring talks, thoughtful case studies, use cases, and what we call brain dates. And these are going to be led by our faculty and our collaborators from around the world. Along with, on stage will be senior executives from major companies and governments that are actually doing this. And the event is, the venue is pretty spectacular. We've designed a 360-degree stage that can be easily broken up into 5 streams. There's no movement that takes place. You'll be sitting in a keynote and you have a headset. It's not a PA system. And so you can be listening to a keynote for 20 minutes and then 10 seconds later, you can be into a stream that you might care about. And if you want to know more about this, we're pleased to announce that our website is now live. It's blockchainrevolutionglobal.com. So let me just tell you a bit about the setup of the program. There'll be 7 keynotes. I'm going to start it off and talking about the state of the world. And given the current crash of cryptocurrencies, a lot of people are wondering, well, what's going on? And so I'll be explaining that. And it's not just my views, it's based on the research that we're doing here. And there will also be keynotes or closing keynote, a panel session of global executives chaired by Alex Tapscott. In addition to that, we have 10 streams. And day 1 is about the transformation. And we'll be looking at a number of industries: retail, manufacturing, transportation, finance, healthcare, and others. And then day 2 is not about transformation, it's about managing the transformation. So we'll be looking at how this technology changes the C-suite. What does triple entry accounting mean for the CFO? This is the largest change in accounting in centuries. What do smart contracts mean for the chief legal officer? What does blockchain mean for the chief marketing officer. Our view is that this changes just about everything we know about marketing. What does this technology mean for the CIO, the Internet of Information that we've had for decades now, had big impacts on IT architecture and the CIO. What does this second era of the Internet of Value, mean for them and for the CTO? We'll also be looking at blockchain and regulation. It's a tough time to be a regulator. You got the irresistible force of the amazing ability of this technology to create innovation in an economy. And that meets up with the immovable object of public expectations that regulators ought to protect investors and they should protect consumers. And our view is that tinkering with this is not really going to work, and there's some new paradigms emerging in regulation. We'll be looking at enterprise collaboration. As one of our colleagues at FedEx says, blockchain is a team sport. And you can't just change your company, you need to change your ecosystem as well. Sometimes that involves your competitors. We'll also do deep dives into technology and platforms as part of this managing the transformation. There'll be over 40 speakers and presenters. And I'd like to today announce the initial tranche. Most of the speakers will be senior executives from large companies, including chief executive officers of Fortune 500 companies, the keynotes. But we also, our first tranche, we wanted to bring together the people who we think are key in terms of the leading the industry right now, and our collaborators. And they include Bettina Warburg, who's the co-founder of Animal Ventures. I met Bettina when I did my TED Talk on blockchain. And her TED Talk has upwards of 4 million views as a speaker. And the work that Animal Ventures is doing in this area, Bettina and Tom Saris, is pretty much spectacular. We'll have Brian Bellendorf there, a good collaborator and executive-led director of Hyperledger. We'll also have Ron Resnick, who's the executive director of the Ethereum, the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance. Joe Lubin, whom I'm sure many of you know, is the co-founder of Consensus System, the largest blockchain development suite. And Perianne Boring, who is the founder of and president of the Chamber of Digital Commerce, will be there as well. So along with myself and Alex. So that's the first of about 40 speakers, and we'll be announcing the rest in the weeks ahead. So needless to say, we're pretty pumped about this. We think there's a big gap in the market for this, and there's a big need for it. So I don't want to broadcast to you all day, so let's take some time to answer any questions that you have. I can see your questions here as they come up on the screen. So please feel free to send them to me. Now all I have to do is find the questions. Okay, here's one. Why Toronto? Well, honestly, Toronto is the home of the Blockchain Research Institute, although we're now in countries in several continents. But Toronto also has a very vibrant blockchain ecosystem. It was pretty much the center of Ethereum. A lot of the Bitcoin developers were here as well. Ethereum was founded by Vitalik Buterin, who was a Torontonian. There's a big Ethereum ecosystem, but also Toronto has 5, not 95 big banks. And these banks are spending billions of dollars in total trying to figure out how to exploit this technology. And together they could reinvent the financial system, we believe. Toronto and this area has great universities, great computer science. We have strong government support in the Blockchain Research Institute. Our members include the Bank of Canada, the federal government, the Ontario government, and the city of Toronto. And I fully expect that the mayor of Toronto will once again come to one of our events to introduce people. And he personally has a big interest in blockchain. And The Toronto region also has a strong entrepreneurial community. The problem of funding companies that we've had here in Canada for some time with weak angel investment, weak venture, and the real big problem was kind of like Series A, Series B. You need $20 million, and you can get it from a company like Sequoia, but they'll ask you to move to Silicon Valley. Well, now with ICOs, that's no longer a fundamental problem, and there are a lot of major players now becoming involved in this space. The federal government has a huge technology innovation program that is over $1 billion in funding that's going to a number of big superclusters, and including in Toronto, and most of those have a blockchain component to them. And Toronto is also the center of, we believe, of global thought leadership with the Blockchain Research Institute here. So Toronto is a pretty natural location. All right, what else do we have? What is this research? Okay, well, at the BRI, we're doing 80 projects looking at the strategic implications of blockchain. And these projects, millions of dollars worth of work, produce reports and videos and other deliverables, and they're proprietary to the members of the BRI that have funded that work. But they're only proprietary for a certain period of time. And at Blockchain Revolution Global, remember April 24th, 25th in Toronto, we're going to be releasing a big tranche of this research. And so for the attendance fee to get into this event, people will receive essentially millions of dollars worth of research as well. And they'll be the first ones to get access to this outside of the founding members. So that alone is a great reason to have a great team from your company attend. Okay. Do you know if blockchain been introduced to litigation as of yet? We could get into a lot of talks about, or a lot of discussion about the applications of blockchain, but blockchain is being applied to everything pretty much. It's all, most of it is early stage, but in the legal industry, blockchain is having a huge impact. There are probably 10 different areas where this is becoming transformational to the legal industry. And we fully expect to have a number of large law firms in attendance. Hi, Don. Can you tell us if there are opportunities for companies and organizations outside of BRI members to get involved with BRG? Absolutely. Well, first of all, we'd love you to become a member of the Blockchain Research Institute, and they will have some special access to this event. But we also have sponsors for the event as well. And these sponsors come in 3 tiers. There are principal sponsors at the highest level. I think there's about 3 of those. There are up to 5 at the second level and up to 5 at the third level. And if you want to know more about the sponsorship arrangements, you can go to the website and just contact us. Remember, it's blockchainrevolutionglobal.com. And we'll be working very closely with these partners, really, they're not just sponsors, to help integrate them into the program and make sure that they have a terrific experience. Let's see. What is the cost? Okay, there's the cost will be significant to attend, but there's a super early bird special up until the end of the year, and that's 999 Canadian dollars. So there you go. I mean, it's not, the early bird is certainly priced well, given the importance of this event and creating a community and the amazing program that we're going to have, and also the fact that when you attend, you're going to get all this research. Um, will you talk about the crash of the crypto market? Um, well, first of all, we think that crash will not affect this event because it's not about crypto and it's not about investing in that sense. Um, And this is about blockchain, the underlying technology that's transforming supply chains, it's transforming the deep structure and architecture of the corporation, that's changing and will change the modus operandi of government, that enables opportunities for central banks to rethink their fiat currencies, that enable us to create new, more interactive, collaborative, and transparent models of democracy, and so on. But insofar that digital assets are not something separate from blockchain, but are critical to a blockchain for sure. We'll be getting into that. Securities, for example, are going to become blockchain based digital assets. We believe ultimately that the idea of a of a stock or a swap or a future or any other traditional security, that these will all become digital assets on blockchain. And also, at the event itself, though, insofar as that this affects the enterprise, affects government strategies, and so on, yes, we will have leading thinkers on this stuff, on this topic. Hi, Don. From an events perspective, why have you chosen to partner with the MCI group? Well, actually, honestly, they approached us and they said, we think there's a big hole in the market. And I've known MCI for a long time because I've spoken at a whole number of campus party events. They're the organizers of that event, too. They're the producers of that event. And these are extraordinary events. They have 10,000 people. And we thought, well, if we're going to put on an event that's ultimately will have 10,000 senior executives attending, MCI is a great partner. And the 360-degree stage, for example, that we'll have at the event is their idea. How much is membership of the BRI? To join the BRI, large companies pay 150,000 US dollars and 200,000 for banks and technology companies and governments. All right, I've got one more here. What do you mean by building a global community? Well, that's a good one to end on, actually, because this is a new paradigm. Blockchain is a new paradigm. It's the internet of value. And when you have a new paradigm, you get a leadership crisis because new paradigms cause dislocation, a conflict, uncertainty. They're nearly always received with coolness. You sure see lots of that. Or worse, hostility, mockery. Vested interests fight against change, and leaders of old paradigms have great difficulty embracing the new. So, if this is really true, what I'm saying, and I've been on this now since the 70s, 16 books, I've called a lot of the big transformations that have happened in business through technology. This is a big deal. And how are enterprises and governments going to find the leadership to bring about a change like this? Well, all across the world now, we're seeing the emergence of a new generation of leaders, and they include senior executives. I mean, someone like Fred Smith, the CEO of FedEx, and Rob Carter, the legendary CIO. I interviewed them at a big blockchain cryptocurrency event called Consensus in the spring. And they were amazing. I mean, these people are real leaders, and they think that blockchain has the potential to bring about very profound transformations in FedEx. But there are industry communities that are being created, and that's wonderful. We partner with many of them, BITA, Blockchain and Transportation Alliance. But what we need now is to build a global community of the state of the art leaders where they can share, where they can get access to the very best minds and the very best research. And that's what we hope to do. We are not attempting to just hold an event. We're attempting to have this event be an intervention in the creation of a global leadership community. And that leadership community, we think, can make a big difference in the world, and that we can accelerate the very exciting adoption of this technology, because the stakes are very, very high. I mean, let's face it, there are a lot of problems in the world, a lot of problems with business today. We need these new models of banks. We need new models of supply chains. And we need transformations in our governments and in our democracy. And I'm not saying that, and Alex and I don't say that this technology brings about the transformation. People bring about transformations. But just like the first era of the internet, with this second era, once again, we've got another kick at the can. You know, the technology genie has escaped from the bottle. And it was summoned in 2008, pretty much, by this anonymous person or persons named Satoshi Nakamoto. The genie was summoned with uncertain motives at this very uncertain time in human history. And it's not going to solve all of our problems, but it does give us another kick at the can to transform our institutions, perhaps even to rewrite the economic power grid and the old order of things, if we will it. I see that we have a flood of more questions coming in. I'm going to stop now, but please feel free to check us out, blockchainrevolutionglobal.com. And I hope to see every one of you and leaders from your company and your industry, April 24th, 25th at the Toronto Convention Center. So long. Just ending the stream here. I think we're done for now.